You look at a bank balance that has finally bottomed out, or a rejection letter that effectively kills a year of work. In that moment, the door slams shut on your expectations. There is only the sudden, heavy weight of being completely alone with the failure. This isolation feels personal, but the world continues without a pause. The morning commute starts, the markets open, and the noise of a billion other lives drowns out your tragedy. This silence represents the baseline reality of an environment that offers no cushions. It is a world that comfortably ignores your existence until you force it to pay attention. The external shock eventually gives way to a more subtle danger, the internal coping mechanisms we immediately deploy to hide from the damage. We lean on the lie of rescue. We tell ourselves that a mentor will appear, the market will pivot in our favor, or a sudden stroke of luck will fix the wreckage. We spend months looping in place, waiting for a savior who isn't coming.
While we wait, we choose the anesthetic of scrolling. We prioritize being perceived as cool or busy over the actual work. We trade the hours required for a rebuild for the immediate comfort of sleeping in or social validation. You claim to want a high-performing life, but your daily execution is a record of apathy. Your routine reveals the truth that your ambition is currently just a performance. Prioritizing comfort while waiting for an external rescue guarantees that you will stay exactly where you fell. To change the trajectory, you have to stop looking at the horizon for help and look at your own hands. The focus must shift entirely to your internal locus of control. This requires a total ban on blame. Whether it's the economy, your own upbringing, or previous bosses, they are irrelevant to the current task. Using external factors as an excuse is a coward's escape hatch. The only psychological framework that functions here is radical ownership. You claim the failure, the debt, and the stagnation as your personal responsibility. This ownership creates a new, high-friction realization. You begin to test the barriers you once called unmovable limits and find they were actually self-imposed illusions, convenient walls you built to justify stopping. Accepting total fault for the wreckage provides the specific leverage needed to engineer a new outcome. If you are the reason it broke, you are the only one who can fix it. Discarding the safety of external blame creates the necessary clearance to begin the reconstruction. And this is where mindset becomes physical. You stop treating pain as an emotional burden and start viewing it as a raw asset to be traded. This diagram shows the currency of suffering. You feed current hardship into the crucible, exchanging it for capability. Occurring in isolation with zero validation, elite performance is pure mathematics, the hard sum of relentless repetitions, compounded daily until reaching exponential growth. Use anger and your isolation as fuel. Carry them into the dark and execute the work. Strike the anvil until the repetition becomes second nature. You are already enduring the agony of failure. Since the cost is already being paid, you must demand a tangible, high-value return on that investment. The Silent Crucible is the only place where raw suffering is successfully processed into elite competence. Eventually, the period of isolated work ends. You step back into the world, facing the same environment that witnessed your fall. The empty bank account and the brutal rejections still happened, but they have lost their power to crush you. The crucible has neutralized their gravity. Those psychological scars function as unforgeable credentials of strength. Like kintsugi gold, they highlight the points where you were broken and chose to forge a more resilient structure. The pain of existence is inevitable. Your only acceptable revenge is to transform that pain into the currency of your ultimate triumph.